Alright, Shalom. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Before I get started, I would like to give all the praise and the glory and honors to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Racha Kodash, which has given me the spirit and the strength to do this lesson. And also, I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, Ba'Shem Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Racha Kodash. Wa Shalom, Wa Barakim to the elect, beginning with 144,000, which are scattered abroad, and in every place, redeemed of the time and ready to be saved. Shalom. Back with another show, okay? And Lord willing, it's edifying. But pretty much, man. I wanted to, of course, as always, get into prophecy. All right, the prophecy. All right, and because we know for a fact, all right, that we are in the time where our Lord will come and take down the current rulers of the world, all right, and simultaneously save us that are afflicted and annoyed with this system, all right. And how do we know that? All right, because of the prophecies. Okay, now let me get Isaiah 13. Isaiah the 13th chapter, all right, which all of this is the whole chapter is worth reading and studying, man. This is good, okay. But I want to get down to the foot of this chapter, all right. Okay, and I can start right here in 19. It says, in Babylon, all right, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency. All right, now this is talking about America, this Babylon, all right, and of course it's coded. This is not talking about the ancient Babylon, all right. It's a code name for America, and we're in, Salakia. Damn screen, man. I tell you. There we go. But like I was saying, this is a code name for America, all right. It says, it shall be as when the Most High, shall be when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? What does it mean when it said that? Alright, it's going to be a desert. Okay? Read that again. It said, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency. Okay, it says, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be a desert. Alright? It said, it shall never be inhabited. Alright? Once this place is turned to a desert, it will never be inhabited. Alright? Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. So right here, this proves that this is not talking about the actual land that was once called Babylon, but it's now called Iraq. All right, because you have inhabitants over there. All right, it's not uninhabited. Okay, you have people over there, and this scripture said that it will not be inhabited forever and ever. Okay, it said it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. So this is a future prophecy that has not come to pass yet. All right. All right. It says, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Okay, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. There you go, because it's not talking about the ancient, the actual land of Babylon, which is now called Iraq. All right. You see, I'm read that again. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Right. So meaning it's not talking about that land that the Arabians are inhabiting. Okay? It's talking about America. All right? All right, it says, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. That's right. You see? I'm just curious. I wonder what it says in the NLT. It says, Babylon will never be inhabited again. It will remain empty for generation to generation. Nomads will refuse to camp there, and shepherds will not bed down their sheep. Okay. Okay. Let's see something. So the 10th, it says to a dwelling, home, habitation. All right, the sacred tent. Yeah, so like I said, the Arabians will not pitch tent there, will not have a home there. Okay, so once again, Isaiah 13:20 says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Whew, that's heavy. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Because, like I said, you have the Arabians. They pitch tent over there in Babylon. So what? Basically, the Lord is saying that this is not talking about that land over there. All right. So it said, but the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. All right, so this is just a little bit of a future prophecy that I wanted to bring out. All right, because like I said, this is imminent. All right, it's definitely a pending judgment that we are waiting upon. All right, and we're going to see it. All right, so they said, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. Right, so this is the destruction of America. All right, you're gonna have these creatures, birds like vultures and owls. They're the only one that's going to inhabit this land once it's turned to a desert and destroyed. All right, but this is what I wanted to get right here. It says, in her time. All right, in her time, is near to come. There you go. How do we know this? Because of the prophecies that is manifesting. All right. It said, and her time is near to come. Right. And it says, and her days shall not be prolonged. Okay. Because there's been a set date, cutoff point, all right, that they cannot cross. The scriptures going to that. All right. Once again, said, and her time is near to come, right? Because of the prophecies. That's how we know. All right. It said, and her days shall not be prolonged. Yeah, because you got Esau. They think, like it says in the book of Psalms, that their tabernacle shall dwell be forever. Roughly paraphrasing, but what the scriptures say, and her days shall not be prolonged. All right. NLT verse says, hyenas will howl in his fortress, and jackals will make dens in his luxurious palaces. Damn. It said Babylon's days are numbered. All right. Babylon's days are numbered. Okay. The countdown has started. All right. Babylon's days are numbered. Okay. It said its time of destruction will soon come, soon arrive. Salakia. All right. And this is a message that we should all be. You should be tripling at. All right. Because this was written for us in these times. Okay. But you see, you got to be spiritual to see this right here. To see what we're seeing right here, right now, on this screen. These words, you got to be spiritual to be able to grasp what's being said here. All right. It said Babylon's days are numbered. It said its time of destruction will soon come. Whew. It says no time. All right. So, like I said, we know that this is coming because we know that we know this. All right. Like I said, we know this. Like you said, Babylon's days are numbered, and its time of destruction will soon come. How do we know this? Because of the prophecies, because of what we're seeing in the world. All right, this is how we know that its arrival, Yahweh Shai's arrival, is closer than you think, man. Okay? Yahweh Shai gave us plenty of signs to look for. All right? Hey, even Moses, when you go into the Old Testament, gave us a sign, okay, to look for. Let me get that real quick. That would be in the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, I believe. Slack. I spelled it wrong. Alright, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1. Verse 1, it says, and it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations. All right? Among all the nations. All right? And the nations will be Israelite foreigners. Okay? Not the heathens. Let's prove that. Alright, this would be
Strong's H 1471. Goy. Goy.
yeah, Goy. Alright, which goes to Goshen, which was the son, what Moses' son. Alright. And it says what? Nation people. Usually it says that, but it says of descendants of Abraham. Alright? The descendants of Abraham of Israel. Look at that. You can't make this up, man. Descendants of Abraham of Israel. Okay? These were Israelites, not the actual heathen. Alright? That's why it's important to look up these words. Alright? Once again it says, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy power hath driven thee. Right, you see? There you go. And shalt return unto the Lord thy power, and shalt obey his voice. Alright, and that's what we have done. We have returned unto the Lord. Yahweh. That's his name right here. And shall return unto Yahweh thy power. Okay? And shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. Right? And shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. Thou Slakia. It said, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul. That then, right? That then, meaning at that time, the Lord thy power would turn thy captivity. You see that? So Moses told her, he's like, look, when you return back to Yahweh Shema Shai, you teaching the word, distributing the truth, the knowledge unto the heathen, not the heathen, but the nations which are Israelite foreigners. And you getting back into the laws, keeping them to the best of your ability. All right, that then the Lord would turn thy captivity. All right. You see, it said that then the Lord thy power would turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. All right. See, we in these times, man. This is beautiful right here, man. All right. That then the Lord thy power would turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee and will return. All right. This is when Yahweh Shai would, because he came and left, but he's coming back. All right. And will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy power hath scattered thee. There you go. Because, man, this is beautiful, man. So this is we've been given signs to look for, because we're doing this. All this is happening. All right, and he said, when all this happens, when we fulfill this, that then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. All right? And will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy power hath scattered thee. All right? If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, all right, which is America, from thence will the Lord thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. There you go. See? So yeah, so like I said, this is a sign, some more signs that was given unto us to look for. You know, that would indicate our salvation is near, and the destruction of Esau is near. All right. Let me get Second Esdras, chapter 8. I think that's not the one I want. Oh shoot, Salaki. This is the one I want. Chapter 9, 2nd Esdras chapter 9, it says, he answered me then and said, well, I start at this one, 8:63. Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time, alright, but at what time thou hast not showed me, alright? And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Alright? How do we do that? With these scriptures. The scriptures is our measuring rod. Alright? The things that are happening in the world link with what the scriptures say. Alright? So that's how we're measuring the time. Alright? He said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. There you go. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, see, which I have told thee before, right? Yahushua, Matthew 24. Alright? He gave us some signs to look for. Alright? That's why he said part of the sign. Read that again. When thou seest part of the signs past, right? Which I have told thee before. Alright? And the signs are the prophecies. Alright? It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, right? Which I have told thee before. Man, this is good. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time, alright, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. You see? So the elect has been given clues all throughout the scriptures. Alright? But wait, there's more. It said, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars. Yahushua, remember he spoke about earthquakes. Alright? But you see, this is not talking about your average earthquake. Nowadays you have earthquakes in places that, you know, should not have earthquakes. Alright? It said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, we're not seeing that uproars of the people, all these riots. Alright? That's the uproars of the people. Alright? The dissatisfaction of these people, man. It said, then shalt thou well understand Right. See, like now, this is this is happening now. That's what's so beautiful about this. This is exactly what's happening. All right. This is why we're so confident, and when we say that the Lord is close, the destruction of this place is close. All right. It said, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee." You see that? Even from the beginning. These scriptures, talking about these scriptures, man. Alright? For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. There you go. And the end is manifest. Yeah, you see? We see the end, man. It's made clear. It's clear that this is the end. Alright? It said the end is manifest. Okay? And it said, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings. There you go. Plain beginnings. And wonder and powerful works, and endings, and effects, and signs. There you go. So we've been given signs to look for, man. Alright? It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said pearls. Right? So that's talking about the elect right there. Something else I wanted to get. Second Ezra chapter 13. Let's get down there. I'm gonna start at the second Ezra 13 and 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. There you go. Yahushua, he spoke about this as well. Matthew 24. Okay? And one realm against another. Whew. You know, so this is really going into World War III. Okay? That's what this is going into. Alright, it says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. There you go. It says, and verse 32, this is the point. This is the point. Alright? It says, and the time shall be. Alright? And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass. You see that? What is the time that it's talking about? When Yahweh Shai come and deliver us and destroys this place. Alright? Destroys the system. Alright? It says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before. You see? The ones that we just read in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, or what you read in Matthew, the 24th chapter. Alright? Okay, it said, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before. There you go. The things that I just showed you, you know, these things have happened. It says, and then shall my son be declared. There you go. You see? And then shall my son be declared. Who is his son? Yahweh Shai, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Right? Alright, so there you go, man. We've been given time, like your signs of his coming. Okay? Yahweh, the apostles came and asked him what would be the signs of his coming, and it was given unto them. Alright? So yeah, man, Lord willing, that was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.